Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to a Magic the Gathering online challenge. Apologies for not having a video go up yesterday. A lot happened in the last 24 hours, but we're back. We're better than ever. We're here, and I may have been a bit ambitious with this hand because I do need to draw into a land next turn. Otherwise, they're going to be playing a Kozilek's command X equals 1. Well, I guess a talisman. So it's not the end of the world. It's just not ideal, to say the least. So fingers crossed we luck out and draw into a land. Because if we do, this hand is fantastic. If not, then we'll figure it out as we go. That being said, we're against Toothy, who I actually recognize from the Lotus Field Discord and Pioneer, the Pioneer Lotus Field Discord server. So it'll be interesting playing against them. That being said, looks like they're going to begin with 7 cards. Let's open with Ugin's Lab. We're going to imprint Ulamog and play a Talisman of Curiosity and pass. Pass to them. No reveal of Jengantha, so not energy. A forest and an ancient stirrings would probably tell me this is a Broodscale combo. Yep, sure enough, it is either mono green or a variation of. Better for us to hold up Kozilek's command. Well, you know what? Let's actually do this. Let's use Kozilek's command. Would it be better for me? No. Let's use Kozilek's command here. X equals 1. We're going to top the temple. We're going to play the temple. We're going to play the talisman and pass. So we actually have a decent amount of mana here for next turn. Enough for us to kicker the Sowing Myco spawn. So they play, let's say, a Saga. That would have worked, but no dice there. There's a Pithy Needle naming what? Maybe Ugin's Lab so I don't bring back the Ulamog. Karn. Springleaf Drum. I mean, Karn not being here, or Karn not being able to activate the ability really isn't a problem in the grand scheme of things. Just having Karn on board is beneficial. So let's just go ahead, play Sowing Myco spawn, kick their forest. And let's grab another Eldrazi Temple so we can play World Breaker. We can play World Breaker regardless, but yeah, let's get Eldrazi Temple so we can play World Breaker. And then pass the turn. And just kind of keep them off of lands, we should be fine. Here comes the Basking. No, looks like a Malevolent Rumble. I guess they could still play the Basking Broodscale next turn. They're gonna grab the One Ring. There's the Blade of the Blood Chief. So honestly, yeah, I think they misplayed there. I think they should have instead play the Basking Broodscale. Then again, I guess they don't know that we have the World Breaker to exile the Blade. So now we go to combat. Attacking with the Myco spawn. Because we now have protection for Karn. They can play a One Ring maybe. And they'll get a draw off. Looks like that's what they're doing. Yep. So we'll get a draw off. We won't really care too much. Another Sowing Myco spawn. Yes, please, and thank you. Because what we can do here is we can kick it. Let's get rid of their Soul Land. We'll grab an Ugin's Lab, imprinting all his dust, and then play Karn. And that should be the game. I don't think with the board state as it stands right now, there's any way for them to get around this. I do think this game is over, at least game one. So I'll grab the lab. Lab will trigger, we'll imprint the dust. Sowing Mycospawn will resolve. And then we'll play Karn. And attack with Breaker and Mycospawn for 8, pushing you to 9. Ring will push... Oh, you have protection. It doesn't matter, but that's a stupid mistake on my part. Next turn, 4, 6, 8. So we're 2 shy of an Ulamog. We'll probably just play the 1 ring. And then go from there, I think. Unless they play Thief of Existence main, they really don't have a way out. Opponent's thinking hard regardless. Yeah, the biggest thing about Karn isn't necessarily its ability to wish. It really is just its ability to lock down all artifacts. That'll be a Basking Broodscale, I imagine. Yeah, and I think they just come to the conclusion that, yeah, it's all but over. So, good clean win there. Looks like it is a Gruul Basking Broodscale combo. We'll bring in Might, Dismember, and Leveler. And we'll cut Soin Mycospawn, 1 Thought Knot, and an All Is Dust. Should be good to go. Right. Yeah. So the main thing we have to look out for here in game 2 and 3 is Thief of Existence. As even if a Karn on board, they can get rid of Karn. So just something to think about as we're making our decisions. Otherwise, the game plan is pretty normal. Just apply pressure to board, get Karn, and we're pretty much golden. Alright, imagine our opponent will be on the play. This hand is looking good. We'll tuck the Devour underneath Lab. And ideally we'll see a land off of Devour of Destiny's triggered ability on upkeep. We'll pass the turn to them. There's a Temple and a Might. That could make things a little bit more complicated. If they exile our Talisman of Impulse. There's a world where we do wait a turn and Kozilek's command the Haywire Might, I guess. Not my favorite choice. So a second lab does play around that regardless. So now we're pretty much in the clear for a Karn on turn 2. Play the Impulse as bait. Because now what can happen is they'll spend their turn in getting rid of the Talisman. Ooh, they won't be able to unless they have a Springleaf Drum. There's the Blade. And there's a Blade equipped to Might. That's fine. We'll take the 1. And now Ugin's Lab, tuck the Ulamog. And let's go ahead and play Karn the Great Creator. Do I minus Karn here? We have nothing to protect it. But we could next turn with the 1 ring. Yeah. Either that or we could go coding and just start plussing thereafter. Use Kozilek's command as protection instead. Kind of like that plan. The only way they get around this is with a Thief of Existence. They currently don't have a green source. They could create a construct, but we can easily exile that, and looks like we have taken the match. So nice clean win here in round number 1. We'll be moving into round number 2 here shortly. As always, guys, if you are enjoying the video so far, please do hit that like button, comment down below, and only 10% of you are subscribed, so it would be much appreciated if you do hit that subscribe button, as it really does help out me as I continue to grow this channel for all of the mono green Eldrazi Tron goodness that we'll see going forward. With that being said, folks, I'll be back in just a little bit. Alright, we are back for round number 2, this time on the draw. Hand is interesting. This hand really does, like, it just no longer wants to play Tron on turn 3 anymore, but I think we do keep this. So we'll keep, we'll pass. This is likely going to be energy based on Jengantha. If it's Mardu energy, it'd be a bit worse, but it looks like it is Boros. Also Pride off the bat, that's perfectly fine. Would rather see that over a Guide of Souls. Also Pride will attack. Question is, we play the One Ring, Thought Not Seer, Kozilek's Command. What do we play first? Is this going to be an Ajani or a Raptor? Looks like a Raptor. Finds a Raptor. Yep. Pretty good. Well, there's a power plant. We'll pass, and we'll give ourselves the ability to respond with Kozilek's Command. If they play a Blood Moon, I suppose. That'd probably be the worst case scenario here. Guide of Souls, that's fine. Bombardment is less fine now. Oh, I probably should have... Shoot, I should have responded to that. Let's see here. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I should have responded to bombardment. It would have saved me a life. We'll see Guide of Souls. Let's see what they put it on. I'm kind of curious here. I imagine on the Ocelot Pride. On the Amped Raptor. Okay. So, this is going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 4, 8, 9. So yes, we have to get rid of the cat. Otherwise, they will... Yeah, I could have saved 1 life by responding to Goblin Bombardment. They'll do this, they'll activate Bombardment, they'll ping me to 18, but it'll make sure that they do not get City's Blessing, which is the important part here. We're down to 11. There's an Ugin's Lab. It's gonna be tricky. So I think we go Talisman of Impulse. Let's go the One Ring. Right now we are at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's assume they play a creature 6, 7, 8. At a theoretical 3 right now. It's not great, to be honest. Theoretical 3. Well, let's pass the turn, see what they play. It's possible they don't have a creature that will trigger Guide of Souls. And if so, then we're okay. Okay, opponent's casting something. Aphlasia's fine-ish. Yep, they'll gain life. They have to target something. I guess they target them itself. So this is City's Blessing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're at a theoretical 4. This would put us to a theoretical 3. think we need to. So one ring activation. A Kozilek's command could help us. Trigger. So yeah, that is 7, 4, 3. Okay. So I'm at 3 right now. Let's play Ugin's Lab. Let's imprint a Devourer of Destiny. And now let's Kozilek's command. So there is a slight problem that could arise here, and that is Flage. If they draw into a land, we will lose. Yikes. Alright, well, let's go. What was it? 8 deep? 8 deep. There's the dust. Let's drop the lands. Actually. We have Karn. Don't need resilience. Thought-Knot's not great right now. If we go 8, 9, 2. No, wouldn't do much. We can draw 2. I'm just wondering if there's a way for me out of this. Because a kicked Myco spawns a -3. Because we have played Ugin's Lab, correct? Yes. So we can't play a land. So let's bottom this spawn. I might need that. Actually, probably won't need that green source after all. Just top the dust. And now we just need to hope and pray they don't draw into a land. So we're going to go down to 3, down to a theoretical 2. Yep, we'll just yield to abilities for this turn. And I'll have to do the same with all his dust. Okay, well. Yep. I wonder if I would have saved a green source there if that would have worked. I would have had 8 mana still. -3 is 5, so no, I wouldn't have had enough. Down to 3. Resolve. Pass turn. Comes down to the Flage in the graveyard. Son of a... Rough. Anything I can do here? I don't believe so. I guess we could have... No, it just would have resulted in a lot of the same. So yeah, that's a loss. I'm trying to think if there's any way out of that scenario. Boros Energy. We'll lose game 1 here. That is a Flage for the win. Was there another way out? I guess maybe we could have just played Karn, grab another 1 ring, and try to draw into it. Maybe that would have been the right move. So hard to say. Because if we wait long enough, then they're just going to be able to ping us down with Goblin Bombardment regardless. Yeah. Because I could have gone Karn, could have gone 1 ring. Would have been able to draw 2 more. Would have given me another turn. Give and take. But we'll be on the play. Looks like they don't have Jingantha this time, so it does mean that they do have some Tron hate in the way of either White Orchid Phantom or Obsidian Charmaw, so something to be mindful of. Oh, nope, I stand corrected. Looks like they do, so they do not. Let's mulligan this hand. Let's keep this hand. Let's drop a Thought Knot. Reveal Devourer. This seems like a good one. Sowing Mycospawn seems like the right choice. Let's go Lab, Imprint, Cast, and Pass. Plays an Arid Mesa. There's a Ragavan. That's fine. Let's cast Thought Knot Seer. And let's get rid of that exercise. Pass the turn. That's the Marsh Flats. Imagine Gydasol's Bombardment. Okay. Let's go ahead and play Tower. Let's cast Sowing Mycospawn. Let's grab a Mine. Go to combat. Attack with Thought Knot Seer. No blocks. And then we'll play the One Ring. Activate the One Ring before the ETB trigger resolves. And pass the turn. I think this is pretty much a done deal. There's the Flooded Strand. Imagine they play Flage and bolt the Mycospawn. No, gonna go after the Thought Knot instead. Interesting. Alright, One Ring. Let's draw 2. Let's play a land. Let's go ahead and return Devourer. Let's go ahead and cast Devourer. Let's exile Bombardment. Let's play a Talisman of Resilience and go to combat. Regardless of what they play, we have a Dust in hand. Marsh Flats down to 10. Other Plains. There's the Guide. And returning Jingantha, a Blood Moon. That's perfectly fine. One Ring. Let's draw. Let's go ahead and actually... let's keep a threat here. No. We're in a good spot. So let's just go 7. Go to combat. 9, put you to 1. And we'll go to game 2. Let's bring back the Sowing Mycospawns and cut the Thought Knots instead, since we didn't see any Tron hate coming in from the side. Alright, we'll be on the draw here. Okay, Jingantha's revealed again. That is good. This is a turn 3 Thought Knot. We also have a turn 2 K command, so that seems good. Yeah, we'll keep this. It's a bit slower than I would like, but it could be worse. Marsh Flats crack down to 19. Sacred Foundry untapped and a Gydasol's. Or Ragavan. Ragavan's probably the worst case scenario there. That makes it interesting. I would like the 4th mana. That's only the 3rd land. So we'll go with an Urza's Tower. Actually, maybe we should have gone with the Forest in retrospect. That might have been a mistake on my part. We'll see. Yeah, because that way if we draw into a Soin Microspawn, we would have had the mana to cast it, da-da-da-da-da. And also is unaffected by Blood Moon, which we've already seen. Okay, they're going to play my Talisman. A little bit effed up there, not gonna lie. But it looks like they might be down on lands. Let's play the Urza's, or Ugin's Lab. Let's tuck the Devourer. And... let's actually hold for the Kozilek's command, I think. I think that's the right move here. We'll attack with Ragavan. We'll then cast Kozilek's command, create some Eldrazi spawn, and exile the Ragavan. Second main. That's a Guide of Souls. And now we have... ugh, there's the Soin Microspawn that I was worried about. Alright, well let's see. They're down to 6, and they are struggling quite hard. Well, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's start applying pressure to the board with a Thought Knot. There is a lot of static prisons. Holy hell. I think, though, I'll get rid of this Blood Moon. What in the fresh what? Alright. There's a static prison. Gonna be aiming at the Thought Knot, I imagine. Yep. Well, Talisman of Unity's like uniquely good for them, given the circumstances. There's an Arid Mesa. Imagine they'll attack here. We will not block for obvious reasons. Let's see if I can get them to waste their turn on a Stony Silence next turn. 2, 4, 6, 7. Actually, let's instead go with Devourer. Trigger on Prison. So we'll then get the ETB from Thought Knot. And Exercise is instant speed. It is sorcery. Let's go with Exercise. They'll crack the Mesa for a Parlor. Top. We'll hold priority. There's the Mountain. That's a 1 ring. Okay. 6, 7. Well, 2, 4, 5. Let's 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so let's go ahead and play the 1 ring. Activate the 1 ring. We're going to Chalice on 1 and pass the turn. This should put them in a pretty rough position. There's a Flooded Strand for the turn. 1 ring activates. Makes sense they don't want to use their own Stony Silence. There's a Flage. Another 1 ring. I'm going to cycle the 1 rings. Okay. Well, let's go to my turn, activate my One Ring. There is a Cavern of Souls for Eldrazi. I think our force is in exile. It is. So we can kick the Myco spawn. We will then exile their untapped land. We'll grab a power plant with a mine in hand. And then I will pass the turn. Next turn we have Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Then I'll draw 2 most likely. Here's another Flood Strand, going down to 12. There's the One Ring's activation. 8 cards in hand. Exercise targeting the Void. Yeah, that's fine. Static Prison targeting what? Targeting Thought-Knot Seer. That will resolve. Thought-Knot will trigger. You'll draw a card. Yeah, I think this game is over next turn. I don't think there's a way out of this one. 2. For a dashed Ragavan, I see what you're doing here. And we're just going to nip that in the bud. Ragavan back to hand. The One Ring activates. Let's go with mine. So we have access to 2, 4, 10, 11, 15, minus 3 is 12. So we have more than enough mana to do this. Let's get rid of your Parlor. Grab a tower. Let's go ahead and cast Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Exile, exile. Thought-Knot Seer. We'll grab the Static Prism. Ulamog resolves. And we'll go to combat. That's going to be 9 damage. And we pass. And I don't think there's really any way for my opponent to get out of this one, at least not based on what was in hand. And that is that. So, realistically speaking, I do recognize I probably could have won last on my turn by simply playing Karn the Great Creator, grabbing Walking Ballista, X equals 3. Probably would have been the better move. But we got there either ways, and I don't think with 4 mana there they would have been able to actually win. I guess they could have played a One Ring, we would have grabbed Karn, we could have, once again, made Walking Ballista, or wished for Walking Ballista, made Walking Ballista big enough to kill them on upkeep and call it a day. So I think that probably would have been the end result regardless. But that is going to be the end of round 2. I'll see you guys shortly for round number 3. Alright, we are back for round number 3 on the play. Person's name looks familiar. I'm pretty sure that this is Boros Energy, and I'm also 100% sure that this hand is garbage. This hand is okay. Not my favorite, but keepable. Ugin's Lab is probably what we're taking here, yeah? Yeah, that's probably the right move. Let's go Temple, pass the turn, pass. We're just trying to get to Karn at this rate. There's a Guide of Souls. Ugin's Lab, we're going to imprint Devourer, and then play Talisman of Resilience, pass. We now have access to 5 mana, 6 after the Forest. We'll probably go Karn the Great Creator, and then... probably a One Ring, I'd imagine. Gives a turn. As always comes in for the attack. A power plant, you say? Well, let's go... Yeah, so we'll be good there. Karn. And yeah, let's grab a One Ring. Pass the turn. I think we might want to let them attempt to press their advantage. Though right now it seems like they're a bit land light, as they did miss their land drop for turn 2. They're going to attack down Karn, and that's fine. Okay, they found their land. There's Najani. Imagine... Attack me, attack Karn. Yep. So they're going to put the counters on the cat. Yep. Karn down. Let's, in that case, play the One Ring. Draw a card. Pass the turn. Hold the ability to respond in case we need to bring Devourer back for whatever reason, though I'm doubtful of that being the case. There's Static Prison. Perfect. Love to see it. This is exactly why we decided to hold off on the All Is Dust. I am going to miss the One Ring. As much as I recognize why it needs to be banned, I'm going to miss it for moments like this. Sometimes the sequencing is just all too good. That's why we're going to increase like All Is Dust, probably another Talisman, and maybe a 7-drop is likely what's going to change in Mono Green Eldrazi Tron. Not anything too huge, just more sweepers, more stabilizers. Just ways so we can turn the corner. There's no perfect replacement for the One Ring, but it is what it is. Opponent's thinking really hard here. I'm not sure on what, though. They have 1 mana. You either play a creature or you don't. I guess maybe the thought is a Static Prison on the Talisman, which unironically would be a really good choice. And I'll probably respond by casting a Kozilek's command, X equals 0, in order to draw into a land. Still thinking. It's possible they also may have needed to just step away for whatever reason. I don't know. 'Tis all a possibility, but... Oh, paying costs. But then not. Paying costs. Aragavan. Perfect. Love to see it. Got a City's Blessing and everything, but it just ain't gonna matter, friend. Yep. Yep. All of the energy, all of the life, everything you could possibly need. Except for some way to survive the All Is Dust. Now 3 cards in hand. And I'm going to activate the One Ring. And get another One Ring. Look at that. We'll pass. And pass. Here's a Guide of Souls. Okay. Here's Static Prison. Yeah, sure. And yeah, I think that is the right move here. Let's go to game number 2. As per usual, we're going to be bringing in the Dismembers, and we're going to be cutting the Sowing Mycospawn for game 2 and seeing if our opponent has any Tron hate in the side. And if not, for game 3, then we'll be bringing back in the Sowing Mycospawns in lieu of the Thought-Knot Seers. All right. We'll be on the draw here. So it doesn't look like any dedicated Tron hate, at least not in the way of a Obsidian Charma or a whatchamacallit, White Orchid Phantom. This hand is okay. There's better, but we'll keep it. So we'll keep. And we'll pass. Question is, do we play the Thought-Knot or the Sowing Mycospawn first? Ragavan. Well, not thrilled about seeing that. Could mean an early Blood Moon. In which case, then we'll play a Kozilek's Command in response to its cast. Ragavan will deal some damage. And what did they grab? They grab a Karn. Well, good news they can't play it, because that would actually be pretty backbreaking. Crack the Marsh Flats. Plains. Opponent's thinking. Guess the question is now, I think we do hold back on the Talisman and probably go turn 2 Kozilek's Command, X=1, exiling the Ragavan, and making an Eldrazi spawn. Amped Raptor will resolve. And that is a Flage, which they can't cast. Ooh, well that is interesting, because we can now go Ugin's Lab, Tuck the Devourer. Do we go Kozilek's Command or Thought-Knot? I think we stick with Kozilek's Command. In which case, we're going to play the Talisman. I'm going to ramp a bit more. That way we can Kozilek's Command X=1 as we planned. And also have enough mana for next turn to kick a Mycospawn. There's a Marsh Flats, yep. Go to combat. Let's go ahead and exile the Ragavan. Ragavan is down. No blocks. We'll go down to 16. Another Raptor. Trigger. Flage. Me or the spawn? That's the question here. And 3 damage going to the spawn. In response, I will sacrifice the spawn. Crack the Marsh Flats. Going to cast another Amped Raptor. Yeah, the 2-for-1s are real. The Static Prison. In which case they are going to grab the Talisman of Resilience. Yep. Well, now that is just a little bit rude. Funny though, it doesn't matter. Let's go Thought-Knot Seer. Take a look at your last 2 cards. Grab the Bombardment. And pass the turn. Next turn, we'll go ahead and kick a Mycospawn. Grab another Temple. Oh, Janganta the hand, yep. They played the Mesa. Well, that does make things interesting. We're not going to grab the Temple, instead we'll grab a Mine. And let's get rid of the Sacred Foundry. Grab the mine. Pass the turn. For we cannot attack into 3 first strikers. Do you want to note that Flage is likely to be cast here? But that's fine because we can exile it with Devour of Destiny. Though, interesting, they did not put the top card of the library into the graveyard. I have nothing I can do here, so we'll just pass. Okay, there they go. Probably because they saw the fetch on top, and now they'll go ahead and play the Flage. Imagine going... I guess they could hit the Myco spawn or the Thought Knot. Thought Knot could be interesting. That way it's forcing me not to block. But Myco spawn down. Could do me 4 down to 12. Going to opt not to. That's kind of nutty. But let's go ahead and play Devourer of Destiny. We're going to exile that Flage. And then let's go ahead and play Karn. Few too many lands were used. Let's minus Karn. Let's grab a... Yeah, let's grab a One Ring. It's always a bit safer to go One Ring here. We'll hold up our blockers. That and also we can attack through 3 amped Raptors, even with the Devourer of Destiny. I'm going to hold the Static Prison. They could play Jengantha here, but looks like the opponent is going to concede, and we'll walk away with a 2-0 in round 3. Awesome. We'll be back in a few moments with round number 4. Alright, on the draw for round number 4. Hand's looking fantastic. Let's aim for a Karn on turn 2. We'll keep. Pass it back to the opponent. Not energy this time. Maybe. Hold up. Maybe it's not energy. Hold up. Maybe I spoke too soon. Stomping Grounds. Interesting. Ragvan. Bauble. So Jund Saga or Jund Delirium maybe? That's at least where my head's at. Let's go Lab. Imprint Talisman. And then we'll play Temple next turn, Karn. Yeah, Ragavan's a bit of an issue, but we can work around it. Likely that I'll probably just play Karn, grab One Ring. Okay, down to 14. Right now just looking at Gruul, interestingly. Oh, you know what this is? This is Gruul Prowess, maybe? I don't feel like Ragavan's played in that, though. So that's odd. Well, I'm gonna go down to 15. Ragavan Trigger. Do they have a mutagenic growth? That would be mildly unfortunate if they did. Yeah, looking like mutagenic growth. So Chalice is going to definitely carry some weight here. That's 9 damage down to 11. Looking a little bit dicey. Bauble Trigger, draw a card. There's a Devourer. So there is an alternative play here where we imprint Devourer, play Karn, and then grab a Haywire Mite for blockers. Might not be the worst idea in the world. At the same time, what do we do as a follow-up, yeah? Especially if they have some way to pump the show off. You block game 2 up to 13. Karn would be down. Oh boy. Following turn, we can play Temple with 7 mana for Eldrazi, but nothing to play. Whereas the One Ring might give us another turn. How would they get to 11? Hi. Being very cute, yes. My cat Meep is nudging my leg. Boy. In 3, and all they would need to cast is 4 spells without even dealing damage or increasing power. Yeah, Meep, it's a problem. Yeah. Maybe the move was... No, we still need to get Devour. So I'll go Karn. Opponent's thinking might have a Bolt. Down to 8 if so. Lava Dart. Well, that's down to 10. 2 cards in hand. Well, let's minus Karn regardless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go with the One Ring, because we'll be down to 9, 7, 4. Whereas we could instead be down to 6, up to 8 with a Might. But Karn is guaranteed to be down, not to mention Dart can hit creatures, right? Can hit creatures. So we'd really only gain... We'd only mitigate 2 damage, which might be enough. We also have nothing in hand to play thereafter is the problem. Yikes. Alternatively, we could go Crypt. Exile Graveyard, which would mitigate 3 damage. Maybe that's the right move. Well, I guess Might similarly mitigates 3 damage. Oh well, Might only mitigates 3 if they hit it with the dart. Otherwise, it's still going to be 3, and I only mitigate 2. I guess I mitigate 4. Rough choices. Yikes. The only thing that gives us a turn is probably the One Ring. Because no matter what, we're going to take 6 down to 4. So they only need 2 spells. The chances are they probably have them. So this would mitigate 3 damage. Mitigate upwards of 4 damage. Let's go Might. Karn's going to be down regardless. But this at least guarantees us a turn. And we need to just hope that we draw into some follow-up. If we don't, then we're SOL. A Devour would be good, an All's Dust would be good, a One Ring, even a World Breaker would be fantastic. Game 2 will definitely want to prioritize hands with things like... Oh, are we going to haste? Nope. Flick shots up. Yes. That's a problem. As a Lava Dart Might, I gain 2 to 12. That's 6, 8, down to 4. Yeah. Okay, so we're not dead this turn. we'll go ahead and block the Ragavan. Not sure why they wouldn't Lava Dart it. There's the dart. Dart target me. Down to 9, up to 8. 1 card in hand. And it is another Ragavan. Well, that explains that. Okay, so they're at 0. It all comes down to what they draw, yeah? So let's go ahead and play Talisman, because we only have 2, 4, 5. So yeah, Talisman. And then we're probably going to pick up All Is Dust. We'll take 4 down to 4, unless they draw into a spell. A non-creature spell, to be exact. If they've drawn into a non-creature spell, they win. Down to 4. Ragavan triggers. Ugin's Lab. Okay, well, that does make things interesting at the very least. All's Dust is returned to hand. We go to main phase. Okay, sowing Mycospawn is interesting, but it puts us in bolt range, which is less than ideal. So that's 3, 6, so we're gonna have to do this. All Is Dust. Pass the turn. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll have enough for Devourer. Ragavan, hasted, down to 2. Finds a Eldrazi Temple. Would have liked that, but we're fine. Ragavan back to hand. A little bit annoying. A bolt kills us, but a lava dart... No, lava dart also kills us, right? Because of flashback. So I don't think it matters what we play. So let's go 4. Let's see. I guess we'll have to... I mean, if they have a bolt, then they have a bolt, and I die either ways, right? So let's go mine. We're going to knock out your green source, though you do have treasures, so a little bit of a moot point. Down to 1. I guess a Slick Shot Show Off would kill us, wouldn't it? Don't know why you're generating green when I know what you have in hand. We'll grab a power plant. Yeah, I guess a show off would kill us, but it would probably kill us anyways. Maybe just playing the Devour was the right move. We'll see here. Like, the Dart would have killed us regardless. Slick Shot would have gone us to 1. But if I would have played the Devourer, then I wouldn't be able to do anything anyways. Oh, but if they double haste something, that would be frustrating. Oh, yeah, look at that. And... yeah. Yep. Would it have mattered? No, right? Because they would have given mutagenic growth to Arcanist. They would have had the block to Arcanist, and they would have come in with Ragavan. So it wouldn't have mattered what I did. So yeah, that is in fact the game. You got it. Alright. Game 2 against Gruul Prowess. And that's a loss in game 1. Alright, so Chalice of the Void, still very good. This member comes in. I'm doubting they have sideboard hate for Tron. Well, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Other than that, I think we keep as is. I guess they could have like dampening sphere, stuff like that. Yeah, it did not matter. The fact that they dashed Ragavan is what cost me there. If they would have just hasted it and not dashed, that would have allowed for me to pull back the Devourer, exile the Ragavan, and hold up the blocker for the Dreadheart Arcanist. But just by playing the just by dashing it, and if I would have played both the Arcanist, or if I would have played the Devourer, they still would have been able to get around it, yeah. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Opponent's thinking here, though, so seems like there might be some sideboard hate. Hi, Butter. You want some attention, sir? You can sit in my lap and help. Be a good luck charm. Alright. Yeah, so Chalice will be really strong here. Chalice on 1. Well, shut down most things, especially on the play. On the draw, it gets a bit trickier. You have to be more mindful of the fact that Slickshot Show Off is a house that does not matter if the spell resolves, just that it was cast. So we need to be mindful of that fact. But like I said, we're on the play and looks good. Yeah, so this is pretty much exactly what we want to see on turn 1 on the play, because that is going to be a Chalice on 1. We'll just chill here on turn 2 unless we draw into a Temple, and then turn 3 either Thought-Knot or Karn based on board state. All right. Opponent's thinking whether or not they keep the opening 7. They will. So I'll go Ugin's Lab, Imprint, Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger. Activate. Chalice of the Void, X equals 1. Pass the turn. Pass the turn. Next turn, I think we'll just play the tower. Opponent will pass. Kozilek's Command. That is nice. That means that if they do play a Slickshot Show Off on 2, we can exile it on 3. That would be ideal. They'll go and fetch, I imagine, for a Scryland. Or, yeah, Surveil Land, rather. Okay. Land for turn. And there's the Arcanist, which is fine. In that case, let's take a peek at my opponent's hand. I guess we'll just grab the Arcanist and then pass. I can't really do too much with this. Arid Mesa, passes the turn. Well, let's go to combat. Attack the Thought-Knot Seer. No blocks. Second main phase. Let's play Thought-Knot Seer. And I guess just in case, we'll get rid of the DRC? Yeah, the Stomping Grounds. They can put himself down to 14 if they want to crack the Mesa. I mean, at this point, we're just in a good position. We have removal for their 2-drops. We have pressure on board. There's a Stomping Ground and passing. And there's a power plant. Let's go to combat. Attack in with both Thought Knots. Down to 6. We'll pass the turn. And on end step, we'll exile their blockers. Okay, Lava Dart. They're filling their graveyard, but for what? Lava Dart. Okay. Cool, let's go to sideboard. Yeah, Chalice is very strong here. Obviously we didn't see much, but Thought Knot's good here. Good blocker, good hand disruption, so I think we just keep it. I think that makes the most sense. And is that what I say on my sideboard guide for Gruul Prowess? If it even is on here, it doesn't look like it is, so yeah, I think this makes the most sense. On the draw, we do need to be a bit more mindful. Just because, obviously, they can play a creature on 1, and then they can play a creature on 2, so even if I have a Chalice on 1, then it's not great, especially if that 2-drop is a Slickshot Show-Off. So we do want to have a good hand to start off with here. Yeah, this hand's not good enough. We mulligan. This hand equally is just not enough. So I think we drop down to 6. Or sorry, 5 rather. This hand is okay. Thought Knot. Can we even keep Chalice? Because we really need to ramp into Thought Knot or One Ring. So I think we have to drop Chalice here. Yeah. The only exception, even if we were to draw onto a 7-drop, I think we still want to ramp. Ugh. Yeah, we'll keep it like this. Not great. Ragavan is the worst case scenario, I'd say, for that first 1-drop. Worldbreaker. Well, we did find the 7-drop, so we could go into a turn 2 the One Ring. That's an option. Would allow us a turn. Ragavan coming in. And hits a mine. Not the biggest deal in the world. No? I was about to say no turn 2 play? That'd be shocking. Commercial District. And looks like they're gonna... Ooh, Assault Strobe, okay. Show off? Arcanist. Okay. Well, let's play Temple. Oh boy. Arcanist could strip something out of hand, act as a blocker. This might be right. And give something double strike, that's fine. Alternatively, you can just play the One Ring and we are guaranteed the next turn. Rough. Let's go Thought Knot. I don't think we're at risk of dying. I say now, of course. Might come to regret that statement. Lava darts. Well, we'll get rid of a lava dart. I guess we could be at risk of dying if they have a slick shot show off. That would be the worst case scenario imaginable. Green. For what? Pick your poison? Scale up. Oh, shoot. Huh. Yeah, that's a thing that's happening. They'll grab the Assault Strobe. Maybe? Yeah, target the Arcanist. So... Oh, no, Ragavan has double strike. I'm confused by this. So I could take, what, 6? Or 6. Difference is me taking down the Ragavan or the Dreadheart Arcanist. And the Arcanist seems to make more sense here, does it not? Though I guess if they Lava Dart, First Strike would kill Thought Knot, but not Ragavan. But it would cost them a mountain to do so. Whereas Arcanist would just die. So I either take 6 or 6 regardless, but I'm guaranteed to take down something. I'm actually kind of interested on how Ragavan reads. Okay, so you would get 2 treasures for what it's worth. But I'm not sure if that really matters right now, though you would get 2 peeks at my deck. Yeah, let's get them to waste the Lava Darts on the Thought Knot then. We'll take the 6, at most 8, down to 10. Yep, then you'll flash it back, sacrificing the mountain. Yep, Thought Knot will die, you'll draw a card. We'll take 6. Like I said, it's either 6 or 6, regardless. One unknown in hand. And now we have a Karn. Well, I think we go ahead and play the One Ring. Activate the One Ring. Talisman. Pass the turn. Pass the turn. Slick shot show off. Okay. Draw into the mine. Activate again. Lab. No cards in hand, but a scale up engrave. Now let's play the mine. 2, 4, 5, 7. 4, 2. Yeah, it would have been nice to be able to grab a bridge. But that won't be happening. We don't really want them to be able to play scale up. Because they can, yeah, make our life pretty difficult. Four. And then left with 2 or 3. Doesn't do enough. The alternative is Karn, grab Haywire Might. Haywire Might block Ragavan. Exile the One Ring, gain 1. Take 1, 7 plus 2. So 9. Yeah. That's not ideal either. Alternatively, we Karn. We grab Tormod's Crypt. Exile their graveyard in response to Dreadhorde Arcanist. And then we would take 2, 3, 4, at most, 6 down to 5. I think that might be the play. So let's go. Let's do this. So 1, 2, Curiosity. 2, 3, 4. Minus Karn. Yes. Grab Tormod's Crypt. Play Tormod's Crypt. Pass the turn to opponent. We're at a theoretical 9. So we need to hope that they don't draw into any spells, especially any of significance. There's the Slick Shot. So right now it's 4 damage total. Go to combat. Arcanist trigger. Targeting scale up. In response, Tormod's Crypt. Pass. So down to 4. Mutagenic, or down to 7. 5, 3. If it's a mutagenic growth. If it's a bolt, we lose. Okay, mutagenic growth is fine. No, is it? Oh, I might actually be dead. Oh, I'm at 1. Okay, I can count. I can count. We're good. Okay, so the One Ring will put us to 1. Of course, there's a Sowing Mycospawn. Bad timing. Let's activate the One Ring. Okay. So, now what is the question? If I play the One Ring... Okay, so let's do this. play a lab, tuck Devour, minus Karn. I will use Karn's ability to grab the One Ring. I will play the One Ring. Keep this one. I will cast Sowing Mycospawn for 4 or 6. Oh boy. Sowing Mycospawn for 6 would be everything. Then we grab Tower and have 2 left. That would be fine. Yes. So let's do that. We won't take damage because of the One Ring's protection. I will get rid of Arena of Glory. I will grab the tower. Okay, that's fine. I will then play Chalice on 1. I'll then pass the turn. And now we pray. And now we pray. So at the very least, next turn, we'll pick up Devour and exile the Show-Off. Show-Off will probably kill Karn, I'd imagine. Yep, Karn down. Pass the turn to end step. Okay, we'll play the Eldrazi Temple. Let's go ahead and play Devourer of Destiny. Devourer of Destiny is going to exile the Slickshot Show-Off. Now we either play Thought Knot or another Slickshot Show-Off, or another Devourer. I would say the right move is, I mean, there's no reason, why would they, I guess they could have held this Show-Off for this exact reason. Let's go ahead and play the Thought Knot. MTGO is taking a second. Yeah, the moment they draw a Slick Shot, we die. Okay, target's opponent. There's the dart. Dart's now engraved. Is there a world that they have something to bounce a blocker? To just remove a blocker? I don't think so. At least not one that I know of. Scary thought there regardless. I guess, well, they can't haste in like they did last time to get around my blockers. So, yeah, they can't dash a Ragavan. And if they play a show off, we're dead regardless. We need to apply pressure. So I think we're right to attack and pass. On their end step, we'll return Devour to hand. Opponent draws. Do they have the show off? They have a land. Each turn, we're going to be holding our breath. Go to end step. Return Devour to hand. Okay. Well then. Let's see how much mana we have. 2, 6, 8, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16. We're one short of both. We're still dead to a show-off regardless. Maybe this was a good reason to have Grad to Devour last turn, because we would have had lethal. Unfortunate. One thing we can do, theoretically, is we can draw again with the One Ring. Funny enough. Let's do just that. Let's draw off the One Ring. Opponent's thinking. Not sure what about, but they are thinking. And all is dust. Doesn't really accomplish what we need it to. So let's play the Ulamog. Just really hoping for one more land. Because 4 or 6, yeah. So I did count correctly. Ulamog will exile our One Ring, and we'll exile their Dreadheart Arcanist. Down to 2. Arid Mesa will put him down to 1. And now it comes down to this, no Surveil lands. Opponent's looking at whatever they drew long and hard. Oh boy. Yeah, I think like there's a world where they could have had the show off in hand. I don't know why they would have held it instead of whatchamacallit. What's their ability? Instead of plotting it, so maybe that would have been a good tell. So I likely should have just played the Devourer, as that would have given me lethal. So yeah, I think I did mess up there. I think I could have played better in that regard and played to the win and not to the loss. But we got there, so I will take that. That said, we will walk away undefeated here in round number 4, moving into round number 5. I'll see you guys shortly. All right, on the draw for round 5. Let's see what we got going for us. Yep, they go first. And there's a Dragantha. Good news is this hand is pretty good. Guaranteed a Thought Knot on turn 2, so we'll go ahead and keep. Reveal Devour, and pass the turn to them. Windswept Heath, cracking down to 19. Forge, Shock, and Crystals. Yep. 'Tis the tale as old as MH3. Let's go Kozilek's Command. Lab, Imprint, Talisman, and pass. Let's see, Ocelot Pride. Another Guide of Souls. Could be a Static Prison, but it is not. Well, they're short on lands. That's good to know. I mean, we could just exile Guide of Souls, get up to 7, then use Allah's Dust. Might not be a bad play here, honestly. So we'll pass. Then let's see if they play anything. Static Prison in response. And pass. We'll take our 2. Call it a day. Ugin's Lab. Well, we can Ugin's Lab. Do we need to, though? 4, I guess we do if we want to play all the above. So Lab Tuck. Let's play Unity. And then Thought Knot Seer. I think we want to grab... Well, they don't have the mana for the One Ring. Interesting. It would allow them to flip a Johnny if they have 2. One Ring, though, gets them back in the game after a Dust, so I think we'll grab the One Ring here. And then... should be good here, I think. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll be able to play Allah's Dust next turn. There's the Windswept Heath. 4 planes, play the Amped Raptor. Gonna hold the Johnnies, okay. There's a Bombardment. Well, that is probably the best thing they could have found. Let's see if they realize it, though. Interesting. Go to blocks. I'll block the Ocelot Pride. You would have to sacrifice all 3 for that to be in your favor. Yep. And that's okay by me. And I guess then they'll maybe activate Goblin Bombardment one more time with the cat token. Keep me off of 7. Yeah, looks like they got it. So now I need a temple. Well, let's do this then. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to be one short unless we draw into a land. I think we do want the all is dust, but we will go x equals 2 here. Pass the turn. So now Johnny's dead in hand. I don't imagine they'll give us back much of anything. So 2, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we have 7, but chances are they're going to sack the cat to keep us off. Do we block? I guess let's force them to make the right move. The more choices they make, the more opportunity for mistakes. There's a Johnny. Chalice trigger. Go to end step. Make a cat. And return all his dust to hand. Yep, we'll sack the spawn. Return dust to hand. Land. Not a land. We can't even play that. 2, 4, 6, pass. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Static Prison, trigger. Will you give up a energy to keep me off of 7? Yep. Going to attack, down to 15. End step, cat, and land. Let's go ahead and play all its dust. Pass the turn. Now we have 8 mana. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, let's go ahead and let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. One ring. Activate the one ring. Another dust. Oh, let's pass the turn. On their end step, we'll return Devour to hand. There's an Aether Hub. Going to cast a Flage. We'll have to target Flage or themselves. Yep, Flage, target Flage. Makes sense. And end step, let's return Devour to hand. One ring, hits me for 1. There's a mine. In that case, let's play mine. Let's play World Breaker down to 11. And let's get rid of Sacred Foundry. Keeps him off of Flage. There's an Arena of Glory, even better. The one ring. Down to 9. Activate the one ring. Let's play Soy and Myco Spawn kicked. And we're going to get rid of that Arena of Glory. And we're going to grab an Urza's Tower. And let's go ahead and replace this one ring with a one ring. And we got there. Cool. So this is another Boros Energy. We win. We'll add 2 dismembers to main and cut 2 Soin Mega Spawns until we know whether or not they have any sideboard hate. Pretty standard for us at this point. Alright. Opponents on the play, of course. Do they reveal Jingantha? They do not. That would suggest sideboard hate. This hand is not ideal. It would be much better if we had a 7-drop, but still, that's not even great. This hand similarly is not great. Down to 5. Ugh, jeez. I'll go down to 4. We'll keep this one. Drop the Ulamog, drop the mine, and done. Reveal Devourer, and pass. Now I just need to pray that we don't see a turn 3 Charmaw. We could go another Thought Knot. Not a horrible idea here. Yeah, let's go Thought Knot. So we can go turn 2, turn 3 Thought Knot. Pass the turn. So unless they have 2 Charmaws in hand, we should be fine. I will say 2 Ocelot Pride's a little bit rough. Make a lot of tokens very quickly. Let's play Thought Knot. Take a peek at what our opponent is playing. A little bit awkward, ain't it? Because it'd mean that we can't block with Thought Knot because of Flage. Well, let's definitely get rid of the Exercise. Either one's kind of awkward, not gonna lie. Pass the turn. So they need to play Flage prior to them attacking, yeah? That's what they'll do. They'll target Thought Knot. Down to... Well, I guess I will take the damage. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Let's play the Mine. Play Thought Knot. See what they drew into. Pass the turn. Let's get rid of the Bombardment. And pass. Alright, they're on top deck mode. They do have City's Blessing now. All they have left is a Marsh Flats. Oh no, they played Marsh Flats. Okay, well, there's a tower. We'll pass again. Imagine they crack Marsh Flats for a Parlor, and then Surveil. Yep. 4 cards in grave. I guess they could attack with both Prides here. Amped Raptor. They spin into what? Deals X damage to target creature. Huh. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think that does anything. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it just deals 1 damage. Can't be prevented this turn. That's really interesting. Let's play Lab. We will not imprint. They do have 5. So it's going to be 7. And I think we get rid of a cat. And I can't attack here. The One Ring. Yeah, that's less than ideal. Well, let's play another Devourer. Get rid of a cat. Pass the turn. We'll have to attack here shortly. The only issue is that they can haste in a Flage. They draw into a fetch. Yep, here comes the Flage. The good news is that we can block it pretty cleanly, but I'm not sure if I want to block it, funny enough. I kind of want to exile it. Do we block it with Devourer? Yeah, I think we do. We'll block it with the Devourer. It requires them to get back to 6 cards in graveyard. Next turn we can attack a bit freely. World Breaker. Well, we don't have the green sources, unfortunately. So let's go another Devourer. Get rid of the Amped Raptor. And then attack with both Thought-Knots. I guess they can quadruple block. Yeah, that's okay. Yep. One ring will deal him 2 damage. I'm gonna draw 3. I have 10 damage on board. There's an exercise. They'll draw another card. Yeah, this one ring might be doing enough work to keep them in it. There's an Arid Mesa. They'll correct the Arid Mesa. Find an elegant... No! A Plains where Guided Soul is okay. Flage. There's a Flage. Hit me for 3. We're up to 4 in graveyard now. Well, that does make it interesting. So we'll go ahead and exile. Is that the right move? It would be 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think it's the right move to exile. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go to combat. Deal 6, down to 17. They're down to 14. 1 ring. Another Guide of Souls. Another Guide of Souls. Another 1 ring. Okay. Ocelot Pride. Yep. And a Sacred Foundry tapped. Trigger. Gain all the life. Great timing. All is dust. Pass the turn. You only have so many threats in that deck, friend, and you're starting to run out. 1 ring. A Johnny. Amped Raptor. Finds an Amped Raptor. Yep, you have abundance of energies that an Ocelot Pride. Yep. And a Johnny. Yep. So many cards. Well, there's a Talisman of Impulse. I'll pass the turn. Fortunately, I'm 1 short for the World Breaker. And I cannot block a cat. There's a Static Prison. Interesting, grabbing the talisman. Okay, I was about to say, I'm kind of surprised about that. But they will, I think, all but win here, right? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 10 to 2, I believe is where we're at right now. Charm. Okay, so then they charm, flip to Johnny, Johnny target me. Yep. They got there. Alright. I don't think we saw any of their hate, funny enough. Even though they went through almost their entire deck. We'll run it back. Hi, Butter. Yeah, you. Hello. We'll be on the play. This is not great. Mulligan on the 6. This is not much better. Down to 5. This is tolerable. What, we drop Temple, we drop Talisman, and just go for Tron on 3. Go plant, pass. Well, they did that out of my normal order, but oh well. Sacred Foundry. Guide of Souls. Tower, pass. I think we just hold for Kozilek's command next turn, especially if they have a Charmal. Maybe we do give us the ability to respond in case of a Dampening Sphere. And there's a Guide of Souls. Guide of Souls will trigger. They're gonna try and rush to the bottom. Question is now, do I Kozilek's command X equals, I think I do. Kozilek's command X equals 5. Though at the same time, getting rid of Guide of Souls kind of seems like a good plan. But let's dig. So let's drop the lands. And let's put the Devourers on top and draw the One Ring. Activate the One Ring. Pass the turn. Okay, let's see what they got. Amped Raptor. More triggers up the wazoo. Another Guide of Souls, because you just don't have enough of those, do you, friend? Okay, Arid Mesa. They'll attack so they can pump these, I suppose. Guide of Souls will trigger, targeting Guide of Souls. Well, we know which ones we're going to target with our Devourers. Yep. Let's activate the One Ring. Let's play the Tower. Let's play Devourer of Destiny, exiling a Guide of Souls. And let's play a Thought-Knot Seer. Take a look at what our opponent has. Interesting. I think we get rid of the One Ring here. And then pass the turn. We'll crack the Mesa. Parlor. And keeps it on top. Static Prison targeting the One Ring? Yep, that's fine. Okay with this. There's a Johnny. Yikes. They'll be able to activate Guided Souls twice, making both Amped Raptors fly. Guided Souls is a stupid card. I know people don't want it banned, but like, jeez, is it a dumb card? Like the plus, the one counter is enough is like enough. We are going to have to. Oh boy. So let's go ahead and play the Devourer. Target the Static Prison. We need to find a One Ring. Activate the One Ring. That's not a One Ring we lose. Yep. Yeah, the flying counter is really what seals the deal for me. That, like, in my opinion, if I were to choose a card to be banned out of Boros Energy, I think Guided Souls is the card. The fact that it is the engine, it synergizes well with both with Ocelot Pride. It gives you energy and then can grow your creatures and give them flying. Like, if it was maybe just the token, like the +1/+1 counters, maybe then I would be a little bit more passive about Guided Souls, but I think the flying's what really seals it. That pseudo evasion that's just able to provide an entire squad of creatures. But that is that, unfortunately. That being said, see you guys here for round number 6 in just a few moments. Alright, we are on the draw for round number 6. Alrighty, right. Let's see how this match goes. I think even with a 4-2 record, we make top 8 based on tiebreakers, though I could be mistaken. Another Jengantha. This hand's interesting because, like, if either Karn was a Thought-Knot, this would be great. Yikes. Yeah, I think we do Mulligan here. This is good, because we can go Ugin's Lab, Imprint Allah's Dust, play Talisman, play Temple, and I think we'll drop the second Talisman. Pass the turn. There's an Ocelot Pride, Ugin's Lab, Imprint Dust, play Unity. Thought I had tapped that, did not. Was really confused for a second there. And pass to opponent. We'll play Eldrazi Temple, and then pass the turn because we don't have enough mana. Unless we draw into a 7-drop, in which case we'd be good. Chalice of the Void. Well, you know what? I'm not upset by this. Chalice of the Void on X equals 1. Pass the turn. Marsh Flats Crack for, I imagine, a Surveil Land. No, Foundry. Maybe a Bolt? Yep, there's a Lightning Bolt. And 2 cards in hand. So our opponent's already in a bit of a rough spot, all things considered. Aether Hub. And Jengantha to hand. That is great news. Well, let's play Cavernous Souls. We're going to name Eldrazi. And then play the One Ring. Activate the One Ring. Pass the turn. Alright, let's let's go ahead and activate the One Ring. Play an Ugin's Lab. And no imprint. Let's go ahead and play Talisman of Impulse. And Talisman of Impulse. Pass the turn. Gonna go grab a Elegant Parlor. Yep, there's the Parlor. So Veil Trigger. Finding Sacred Foundry on top. Yep, that's fine. Static Prison, Resolve, down to 0 energy. Aether Hub, up to 1 energy. Imagine they play Jengantha. Let's go ahead and cast a Kozilek's command, exiling Ocelot Pride. And do we want to block here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think we do, interestingly enough. Pass. Plays Jengantha. Yep, there's Jengantha. The One Ring. We'll take 2. Let's go digging again. Let's play Ugin's Labyrinth. Let's tuck the World Breaker. Let's... return All Is Dust. Play All Is Dust. Yeah. Probably should have actually imprinted the Devour in retrospect. Because we're going to want a World Breaker or a One Ring, I think. One Ring. Down to 8. Let's activate the One Ring. Well, we found another One Ring, so moot point there. In that case, we can Eldrazi Temple. Let's go ahead and play the One Ring. Let's kick a Myco Spawn. Kicked Myco Spawn, and we're going to exile the Foundry. Let's grab a Eldrazi Temple. You could do that, or let's go Ugin's Lab. We're going to imprint Devourer. Resolve, Resolve. And then we're going to play a Chalice of the Void on X equals 2. Pass the turn. Alright. Let's go to game number 2. As per usual, let's bring in 2 Dismembers, cut 2 Soin Myco Spawn, and see if they have any dedicated sideboard hate. If so, we'll know by there not being a Jengantha as a companion. Now we wait and see. Oh. Alright, on the draw. They're choosing whether or not they play first. Yep. Waiting for them, so I think, yep, there's Jingantha, so no dedicated sideboard hate. That's good to know. Temple, this is actually keepable, so yeah, we'll keep it. We'll pass to them. Command on 2, and I think a 1 ring on 3 is what we're looking at here. Plains, Guide of Souls? Guide of Souls, yep. Temple, pass. We'll hold the ability to respond. Parlor. Kept on top. There's a Pride, yeah. There is a cat token, some more energy. Power plant. And pass. Arena of Glory. Let's go ahead and exile the Guide of Souls, creating Eldrazi spawn token. And I am wondering whether or not I just block the Ocelot Pride here. Let's... Go to blockers. Let's block the Pride. Yeah, let's block the Pride. E4 damage. And pass. Blood Moon. Well, that is a bit annoying. Well, that's what we get for being a bit too proactive, because now we need another land. Stony Silence. Yeah, that's another problem. You would have been able to 1 ring for a turn. So we need to land here. That's good. Well, this gives us time. We can't activate the 1 ring, but it does give us some fog. And hopefully we just draw it into nothing but land so we can fall as dust. That would be ideal. Jingantha to hand. No attacks. World Breaker. Well, that's not what I needed. Doesn't really matter which 1 ring. You can't exactly activate it. Do they play Jingantha? They don't have the land. Okay. Really need some lands here, friends. That's not a land. Bolt? No. Yeah, if I hadn't done that, what would the benefit have been? The Stony Silence really sealed the deal, I think. Yeah, I think they get this one. 1 ring, 11, land, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, down to 4. What is my saving grace here? Don't think there is one necessarily, is the problem. Yep, because now if even if we were able to all us, they could hasten a Jingantha. Pride trigger, more cats. power. That is 6, not enough, and we go next. Yeah, maybe maybe blocking those 2 cats with the Eldrazi spawns was a little bit aggressive. Well, they don't really have dedicated sideboard hate, so let's cut the thought knots for the Myco spawns. Yeah, because I would have kept them. Then I would have had the 7 for the All Is Dust sooner. Yeah. It is what it is. Mistakes were made. Didn't account for the Blood Moon. This hand it's one land short from ideal. You'll have 2 draws. We'll keep it. It's a bit dangerous, to be honest. Ugin Slab. Imprint Dust, pass the turn. Hold up ability to respond. Sacred Foundry, Shock, Guide of Souls. Interesting, nothing. Land. Orange Chant? Okay, that's fine. Interesting turn 1. Aether Hub, finding a Stony Silence. Well, let's Cradle Draw the Spawn and Scry. Dismember to the bottom, draw. Seven drop. Well, let's play a Thought Knot Seer. And yeah, we'll get rid of the Blood Moon. Pass the turn. Here's the Arid Mesa. Amped Raptor. Trigger. Finds a Johnny. A Johnny. Well, now we need that All Is Dust. So 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, let's play Ugin Lab. Trigger. No imprint. And let's play a One Ring. Pass the turn. At least that way we fog. Arid Mesa finds an Elegant Parlor. Elegant Parlor surveils. On top. Marsh Flats. Crack it for another Parlor for an untap for a One Ring. Amped Raptor. One card in hand and a Blood Moon. They're going to cast the Blood Moon, and in response we're going to return the All Is Dust to hand. So now we have 5 mana available to us right now. We're going to need to draw into lands. We can't block the cats. So we'll just take the 2. Funny enough, we'll take nothing because we have protection. Land. Perfect. 1 away. Pass the turn. Yeah, if we Disruptor Flute, naming All Is Dust. Yep. So I'm going to need more mana. Oh boy. Exercise. Yeah, that was the best draw you could have found. I need a green source. A green source specifically in my forest. I guess even a talisman would be really good here. Down to 13. Power plant. Why do you have a flute in Maine, you mad lad? I respect it, but god dang. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 3 short. Oh my word. Ocelot Pride, yeah. Oh boy. We'll take it. Down to 9. Down to 6. Yikes. Brings Jingantha to hand, I imagine. Yep. And we find what? Oh boy. Yeah, 6. We are at 6, which means we block a 2 power. We take 3, 4, 5, 6 exactly. We lose. That Disruptor Flute saved the game for them. That's nutty. That is wild, in fact. Yep. Good stuff. Oh, didn't mean to return to details. Sorry. Well, it is what it is. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. Sometimes your opponent brings in a Disruptor Flute main. Wild choice, but they did it, and it worked out for them. 4-2 at the end of 6. We'll see if tiebreakers are in our favor. They should be, but we'll have to wait and see. With that being said, folks, I'll potentially see you for the top 8 of today's challenge. Otherwise, I'll be back for wrap-up in just a little bit. All right, on the play for the quarterfinals of the top 8 against Handsome Valley. Let's take a look. First draw is hot garbage, so we are going to not keep that. Second hand's not much better. Third hand is significantly better, so I am happy with this. Let's keep this. Oh, this is interesting. We have Tron. We want to keep a Devour. I don't think we need to keep the Lab then. Yeah, so I think we keep a Devour and Karn. Reveal Devour. Trigger. I guess we keep it. I guess we take the Devour on top. Play the Mine and pass. Let's see what our opponent's playing. Looks like it's Belcher, which I was a little bit worried about. There's a Lotus Bloom. Power Plant and pass. We're going to try and force through Karn, though I guess it depends on what they play here. If they play like a Trainer, I think we might actually play a Devourer to get it off a board. So that way they don't have, what is it, the sack counter. Thought Knot's interesting, though. I think we start with Devourer, and then we try and go with Thought Knot, clear the way for Karn. So we need to draw a land here. Land would be ideal. The good news is we also have a threat on board, which is nice. Okay, so this is Esper Belcher. Land. Second Karn. Let's go to combat. Let's try and force through a Karn. Karn resolves. Let's take down Karn. Let's grab a Disruptor Flute. Let's play a Disruptor Flute. Let's name Goblin Charbelcher. And pass the turn. Okay, I think this should be the game. We have 2 lock pieces on board. Next turn we can press our advantage. They will play maybe another trainer. There's the Veil. I think we have game 1 here. Well, let's start off with combat. Devour, attack. Let's go ahead and minus Karn. We'll grab a Stone Brain. We'll play the Stone Brain. You have a counter. If you don't have a counter, we should have the game. Especially if another Devour in hand. What I was thinking, this is Esper Belcher. And a win on game 1. Perfect. Alright, let's move the sideboard. And we're going to bring in Stonebrain, Dismember, Leveler. And cut Mycospawn, 1 Thought Knot, and a Dust. All right. And I'm expecting Consigned to Memory as the big change here. Commandeer if they didn't already play it main. I know some lists do. Some lists play it side. So we do need to be mindful of when we play Karn. All right. Of course, they'll be able to play. This hand is not keepable. Oh, mulligan. This similarly is not keepable. So we mulligan again. Yeah. So we go... What? Cut Thought Knot, cut land. Yeah. Done. It's not great, but it is what it is. There's the Lotus Bloom. Okay. Unity. Well, let's play the land. Let's see how they play this. Tapped. They could have Consign. So let's try and play Talisman first. Talisman resolves. Okay. Land untapped. That smells of a counter. Well, in that case, let's try it. Otherwise, we're just ramping. Yep, there's a consign that we were expecting. pass. Alright, they could have the turn 4 kill here. Untapped land, Belcher, win. Looks like a trainer. Yeah, what, 5 mana? There's a commandeer. It's good that we know of its existence at least. Ugin's Lab. We'll imprint Ulamog. Cash trigger. Do you have a consign? If so, do you use your Lotus Bloom for it? You do not. Threats are on board. Okay. We can get Ulamog. Like, if we draw into a power plant, we are in a good spot. If they drew into a Belcher, we lose. Well, they might be going Whir for Belcher. So you get Restoration. Okay. Interesting. Well, let's play Lab. No imprint. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So not an ability to... Right, 4, 7, yeah. So even if I were drawn to a temple, it doesn't matter. You would need specifically a power plant. Well, there's Belcher, so we now need either a World Breaker or a power plant. Well, that's not what we need. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. Unfortunate. We'll attack and we'll take the moment to be able to see all what our opponent plays. So, it is what it is, unfortunately. Yep, there's Belcher. And let's take a peek. And of course, the Harbingers, Consigns, yep. Shoals, Trainers, Whirs, Tameshi, yep. Everything looks normal. So, okay. I think we keep as is then. So maybe, do I drop it to Snow? I didn't see many Tameshis. Maybe like one, but there's the Harbingers, so yeah, I think we just keep this numbers as is. I think keeping them's right. Yeah, unfortunate, because it was either, there was Karn, there was World Breaker, there was a power plant would have gotten us there. So yeah, unfortunate that we just were not able to get there. We'll be on to play though for game 3. Hand isn't great. So we mulligan it. Second hand's interesting. We'll keep this and pitch the Mog. Reveal 2 Devourers. And let's take a look at what we find. Thought Nut Seer would be nice. Well, mine does get us Tron. Stonebrain, though. To threaten or not to threaten? We're going to slow him down with Chalice regardless. Let's go with mine. So we'll play Power Plant and then Chalice on 0. Pass the turn. There's the Force. There's the Lotus Bloom. Dry Disruption. We'll play the tower. Pass. They could have a consign. Let's play Devour to threaten board. They have the consign. No consign. Okay. There's a trainer. Finding. Suspension ray. That is fine. There's a suspension ray. Well, friend, let's see if you can kill me fast enough. You might have 1 or 2 turns. If you have the Charbelcher in hand, you win. There's Tameshi. Okay. We'll play the All's Dust next turn, most likely, if we get another turn. We'll draw a card. Bring back Lotus Bloom. That's 5, 4, 7. So it'll be exactly enough if you have the Belcher. There's 7. Could be going for the Seagate. $11, 9. So that's 10. So they could whir for 4. Okay, 9, 12. Yeah, so they could still whir for 4. And then... No, I think this is Seagate. No, whir for 4. Okay, yeah. Okay, so they got it. Oh, boy. Unfortunate. Yep. And dead. Well, it is what it is. Sometimes we win some, sometimes we lose some. I think it was right for us to just press our advantage and go Tron and try and devour through. There's a chance that we would have been able to get the brain out, but unfortunate. Well, at the end of the day, can't really complain too much. I think that's what, top 7, top 8 for this challenge. Overall, had a pretty good time. Not a lot of notes that I can really recall. Just some overall good wins, some clean losses. So overall, that's a pretty good challenge. With that being said, folks, thank you much for joining me today. As always, if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button too, as I believe only 10% of you are currently subscribed, and doing so really does help out the channel. And of course, leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts about any of the plays I made, if you think I made any misplays, point them out. Well, I'd love to receive any feedback and or present my state of mind on why I made a decision elsewhere. With that being said, folks, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!